The 33-year-old registered nurse admitted staff in the neonatal unit of the Countess of Chester Hospital had noticed an increase in infant mortality compared with previous years. Nurse Lucy Letby looks ashen and speaks in a near whisper in a clip showing her first interview by police 5 years ago. The 33-year-old, wearing a gray jumper, sits, hunched slightly, as she is quizzed by 2 officers sitting across the table from her in footage taken on July 3, 2018, in a likely reference to the reasons for her arrest. She initially says, "They told me there had been a lot more deaths and I'd been linked to someone who had been there for a lot of them." A female officer then asks, "Did you have any concerns that there was a rise in mortality rate?" Letby simply says yes, and the officer adds, "Okay, so tell me about that. What concerns did you have?" Letby adds, "I think we'd all just noticed as a team in general, the nursing staff, that this was a rise compared to previous years." Lucy Letby has since been convicted of murdering 7 babies and attempting to kill 6 others at a hospital neonatal unit. Prosecutors said Letby, 33, was a calculated opportunist who used the vulnerabilities of premature and sick infants to camouflage her acts. In 2015 and 2016, there was a significant rise in the number of babies who suffered serious and unexpected collapses in the neonatal unit at the Countess of Chester Hospital. Letby was the only member of the nursing and clinical staff who was on duty each time the collapses happened, which the Crown argued were not natural events. She used various ways to harm the babies, including injecting air into the bloodstream, injecting air into the stomach, overfeeding with milk, physical assaults, and poisoning with insulin. Some of the children were subjected to repeated attempts to kill them by the cold, cruel, and relentless Band 5 staff nurse. The trial, which began at Manchester Crown Court last October, heard Letby's presence when collapses took place was first mentioned to senior management by the unit's head consultant in late June 2015. Concerns among some consultants about the defendant increased and were voiced to hospital bosses when more unexplained and unusual collapses followed, the court heard. But Letby was not removed from the unit until after the deaths of 2 triplet boys and the collapse of another baby boy on 3 successive days in June 2016. Letby was confined to clerical work and in September 2016 registered a grievance procedure. It emerged during legal argument in the trial, in the absence of the jury, that the grievance procedure was resolved in Letby's favor in December 2016. Letby was due to return to the neonatal unit in March 2017, but the move did not take place as soon after police were contacted by the hospital trust. The nurse was arrested at her semi-detached home in Westbourne Road, Chester, at 6 a.m. on July 3, 2018. During searches of her address, a number of closely written notes were discovered. On one green post-it note she wrote, "I don't deserve to live."